Hello YouTube, how's everybody doing out there? It's me Sam, back with another video for you guys. I haven't been here for a while. I haven't been making a video for a while, but anyway, so I am here, and basically this video is kind of like a remake of an old video. So I'm going to be doing that. I had a lot of older videos back in the days, and I took a lot of them down. Well, I was planning to do this anyway to refresh my channel a little bit, because back then I didn't have a very good camera, so the quality wasn't good on some of these videos. And then, you know, for a while there I was about to quit YouTube because of this COPA thing, but, you know, because they were coming on too strong at first, and then it seems like they lightened up a bit. So yeah. Let's go turn that TV off, because that TV is talking. It's my voiceover on the TV, and it's basically just telling me there's no signal because I don't have anything playing right now.
Power off.
So we'll just turn that off real quick, and we'll go back over here. That way you don't have to be hearing that in the background. So anyway, remake of an old video. So what I'm going to be bringing back today, you all might have seen this before, and if you did, consider it a review, a more modernized, updated review. And if you're seeing this for the first time, good, congratulations. So what are we bringing back today? Okay. So this is back in the spotlight once again. And this is the digital talking book player from the National Library Service for the blind, physically handicapped, and now dyslexic. So yeah, so this service was once available to people who were blind or physically handicapped, and then later it was implemented also for people with dyslexia, you know. So that's basically dyslexia's reading issues. So if you have dyslexia, sometimes maybe reading your favorite book may not be too feasible because, you know, pronunciations, not really understanding what you're reading sometimes, and hey, that's okay. It's just a challenge in life. It's nothing really bad. It doesn't make you awkward or stupid. It's just a challenge in life, and that's it. So, you know, if you're watching and you're dyslexic, don't feel discouraged. Anyway, so this is the player that they send you. So the way you get into this program, this is how you do it. You enroll into your state. You look up your state's talking book library or your NLS branch. Every state has one. I'm in Texas, so I am with the Texas Talking Book Program. I was enrolled in this program many years ago, back in the 1980s, back when I was in high school, and I want to say in my freshman year. I got enrolled. The local services for the blind, back then they were known as Texas Commission for the Blind, in conjunction with the school's special education department. Yes, I was in special ed. Yeah. So yeah, folks, I'm quite fundamental, but yet very high functioning. So anyway, yeah. So I got enrolled into this program, and it's, you know, and I've been with it ever since, and it's really good. It's really good because what you get is it's just what they say, talking books. So basically they're just kind of like audiobooks. So if you're familiar with Audible, it's kind of like that, but these books are a little more monotone, plain. They're actually read by volunteers. So it's basically a volunteer that goes into the library's studio and reads a book. So, and then they're distributed in a proprietary format. So let's look back at the device. These are distributed in a proprietary format known as DAISY. And this has to be done because this is the only way that copyrighted material can be legally redistributed. So the DAISY format cannot be played on any other device other than this player. So it's not like your typical MP3 file format. However, this will play regular MP3 files. So you can download podcasts or anything you want onto a thumbstick or thumb drive, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. And you can listen to that on here if you want. So that's great. Music. If you have music, you can also load music and listen to it here as well. Which a lot of people stream their music now, but yeah. So anyway, once you're enrolled, you get this player, and they send it to you. It's available to you on loan. It's not yours to keep, but it is on loan, so you get to have it. And there's no limited time as to how long you can have it. You can actually have this for the rest of your life if you want. You know, with the only exception is that if you ever decide to withdraw from the program or to not want to be in the program anymore, you return it because it is property of the U.S. government. Which, once you're in this program, I don't see why you would want to get out of it. You know what I mean? Unless if you feel you don't have a need for it anymore or something like that. Or maybe for some reason your disability was not permanent and you recovered, I say, or something like that, and you don't need the program anymore. Anyway, so you have this, and once you get this, you will receive like audiobooks, yeah, like I said, on specialized cartridges. So the cartridges basically come in these mailers, and you open them up just like this. We're going to get quite in-depth in this video, so it might be kind of long, so yeah, it might be multiple parts. So if this is not of interest to you, you can click away right now, and there's plenty of other things you can watch. So they come like this. This says Texas Talking Book Library. It has Braille markings. I'm going to try to be descriptive also for people who are who can't really see this video and you're watching or you're listening. So there are proprietary cartridges. They come in a variety of colors. The one I'm holding is white, and it, towards the bottom of it, there's a hole for you to put your finger. This is what allows you to insert and remove the cartridge with ease. There's really nothing about it. To the top, if you feel across the top of it, it has beveled edges, and it has what feels like a USB port. Well, basically, it is a USB port. So, and it goes into the front slot of the player right here, which I'll show you in a minute. What I feel that this is really, it's basically just like any other external storage device, thumbstick, thumb drives, whatever you buy, but just in a proprietary housing, which is meant, like I said, because everything has to be proprietary in order to distribute it, to redistribute copyrighted books. So anyway, we're going to get into the player. This is about the size of a cassette tape. So we're going to get into the player now. So if you're blind and you want to follow along, we're going to start in the front. So if you start on the front and you feel something raised along the front, and you might feel a hole down here in the middle, like where you can stick your finger in, that is a carrying handle. So it's portable. You can carry it with you. By the way, this player is also rechargeable. It's got a rechargeable battery, or you can plug it in. So there's nothing on the front, and then if you go up here to where it feels like you can kind of stick your finger in there, that is the cartridge slot. That is where the cartridge goes. I'm gonna grab a cartridge right now and demonstrate this. So you would grab a cartridge. I have the cartridge in my hand, and I'm putting my finger in the finger hole that I showed you. And you simply, if you're blind, it's very easy to line it up. You just kind of feel around like that, and you insert it all the way till you hear a click, till you feel a click. Or
2 books. Please Pass the Guilt by Rex Stout. Narrated.
So if you have the player on, of course, it'll immediately start playing, as you saw. If the player's off, you'll just feel the click when you insert it. So that's how you know you have it in properly. So we're going to move over to the right-hand side of the player and start at the bottom, right on that left corner. If you move across like that, you're going to feel, you're not going to feel very much. You might feel one button right here. That is the previous button, which we'll get that into a while. We're gonna go up and work our way, from left to right. So if you come up from the bottom, you're going to feel a round button with outer markings, and it has a notch, toward the bottom. This is the power button. This is how you turn the player on and off.
Power. Battery charge remaining 23 hours.
And
Battery
it will even tell you your
Press
battery
this power
status.
button to turn player off.
If you press it on, it turns it off, and you hear that little chime thing that you heard. There's also Braille markings on every button as well. So the buttons are tactile in a way, and there's Braille markings. So if you're a Braille reader, this will be very good for you too. If you go slightly up, you're going to feel a raised line. That is nothing. That is a divider line. And if you slide your finger across, that line goes all the way across the player. That's basically just a divider that divides the simple controls from the more advanced controls. This is the advanced player. This player comes in two different versions. It comes in the basic version and it comes in the advanced version. So, back to the right side. If you go further up, you're going to feel a diamond-shaped button with a raised dot in the middle. It's white in color. This is the info button. When you press this button, it will give you information, status about the player. It will give you information about the book, chapters, and the length of time, and so on. So if you move further up, you're going to feel a set of rocker buttons. They're white in color. They have raised outer tactile markings, halfway, partial, and you're going to feel one pointing up and one pointing down. This is actually the tone control. This is what will adjust your bass and treble, and it's just like on a stereo. You want to make it higher sound, you want to bring in some lower bass, so on. That's what that does. So now we're gonna move across the player. Slide your hand across. You're gonna feel a circle, what feels like a grill. That is the speaker. So that's where the sound comes from. And if you feel further up to the top, there's nothing there. You might feel some raised markings, but it's just branding. That's all it is, of the player and so on, and the official government seal. So going past the round speaker, you're going to feel another set of rocker buttons, similar to what the buttons you just felt a while ago. They're flat. They have no outer raised markings. This is the speed control. This will adjust the speed of which the player is talking. Similar to if you use TalkBack or VoiceOver on an iPhone, or if you use a Braille note taker, you know how you can adjust the speed on how fast the voice talks? This does that as well. If you go further down, now we're going to go downward on the right hand side. So slide your hand down and you're going to feel a rectangular button with a raised line in the middle. Also with Braille markings. This is the bookmark button. This allows you to insert and or remove bookmarks of specific points when you're going through a book. Say you're reading a book and you want to mark that spot because you want to come back to it right away. You can do that. So coming further down right here, let's slide further down. There's the divider line again that you felt earlier, and you feel another set of rocker switches. These are yellow in color, bright yellow, and they also have partial, slightly partial, well, not really partial. They have outer tactile markings similar to the ones you felt earlier, but they're at the bottom of the player. These are your volume buttons. They will lower and raise your volume. So it's how loud you want it. So now we're going to come back down right here. Now we're going to go up the middle of the player. So if you slide back down, you're going to feel another arrow button with partial outer marking, and it's pointing to your right. That is the fast forward button, so that allows you to scan forward in a book or whatever else you're listening to. If you move further down, you're going to feel a big rectangular button with a large indent in the middle. It's green in color, and it actually is your play stop button. This is what will allow you to play and stop. And you're going to feel another button like the one you felt a while ago. It's pointing in the opposite direction to the left. This is your reverse button. It allows you to scan backwards in your material. So now if you move your hand back up to the green button and go up, you're going to feel a moon-shaped button. This is your sleep button. Pressing this will allow you to set time intervals as to when the player will automatically shut off. This is great for when you're going to bed and you want to listen to a book, but maybe you're dozing off. It's kind of like and it's kind of like a sleep timer, and it lets you, it shuts the player off after a certain amount of time. If you go further up to that, you're going to feel that divider line once again, but go past it, and you're going to feel another rectangular shape button. This time it's orientated differently. It's in a horizontal position, and it's a button, same thing as the one you felt before. It has a raised line in the middle. This is your menu button. These are the advanced controls right here. So this is a menu button. This allows you to navigate through the book's content, chapters, phrases, bookmarks. This allows you press it multiple times, and it'll cycle through different options. If you go slightly past, go to the left, you're going to feel another arrow-like button, but with a different marking in the front. This is also like your previous button, and if you slide back to the middle, back to the rectangular button, to the other side, there's another. So this is another forward button. It's like the previous scan buttons that you felt down below earlier by the play button, but this actually lets you navigate. When you press the menu button, you use these two buttons to navigate, between chapters, bookmarks, and so on. And then of course the other controls. So yeah, that's the front of the player right there. So now we're going to move on to the side of the player, and we have a port. If you slide your hand across, you're going to feel something round. It has a green border. This is a headphone jack. It allows you to insert headphones. You go further down, you have a USB port, and that allows you to insert your own storage media, thumbsticks, or thumb drives, or anything like that, for your own downloaded content. So if you come all the way to the back of the player, and you're going to feel a compartment with some wiring, maybe. This is the storage area for the cord, because you can pull the cord out. This can operate either plugged into an electrical outlet or via a battery that has a very long, you get several hours of playtime off this battery. And the same cord will also charge it. So yeah, we're up to 17 minutes in this video, so we're going to go to part 2. This is just a description and a tour of the player. So now I'm going to make another video, and we're going to come back and I'm going to explain a few more things. So I'll be right back, folks. Make sure you go to part 2.